Hello, hello, welcome back. We are here with game 2 of this best of 3 series between TSLHyun spawning as the red Zerg in the top right spawn location and his opponent, RunnerUp, playing as the manly pink Terran in the bottom left. Hyun up 1-0 following a successful Roachling Bane all-in game 1. RunnerUp gonna be hard pressed here, choosing Daybreak as his map. A little surprising. He looked like he was going towards mech in the last game. Daybreak also a pretty good mech map, so we may be seeing mech out of him. Of course, all speculation at this point. It's the very beginning of the game. We can't really see anything about what's going on just yet. I like this from Hyun. Some players are still going with the extractor trick. Just no. There's no reason. So, anyway, we are going to be seeing RunnerUp throwing up Slidey at the front here, going for the wall off. Very, very standard against Zerg. You don't want to be caught off guard by anything like a 6 pool, which does occasionally happen. A little while ago, I believe I saw Gonzi lose to TLO using a 6 pool because, hey, if you think your opponent's going to go Nexus first or not wall off, still a kind of good build, even against Terran. Lots of drones in production here from Hyun at this point. Probably going to go for a 15 hatch. And just talking a bit about this map, I really like this map for ZVT personally. This space is a little wide open. You can get Hellions in if you're unlucky, but it's also relatively easy to wall off with stuff like maybe a macro hatchery there, a couple of Evo chambers there, and all of a sudden it's a big choke. You can really get a couple queens in there and just wall off completely. The third is a little harder to hold, simply because there's so much space between the main, the natural rather, and the third. The same is true for Terran, however, which means that tanks are gonna need to be spread out a lot more than they would like. So it becomes a little difficult to hold this third. It's easy-ish to hold this third, especially if you get a wall off here with barracks, and of course Zerg with creep you can really reinforce pretty quickly. But you do need to spread out those tanks, and this is the GSL version, so this center expansion here doesn't actually have 8 mineral patches. It's only 4 in a rich Vespene geyser, so the Terran's 4th base, this is generally the natural expansion area for the Terran, so the Terran 4th base is going to be a little less valuable than in the latter version of these maps. Hatchery coming down here at the natural here for TSLHyun. There's the spawning pool as well, so everything going very standard so far. 1 Rax fast expand from RunnerUp as well. Going to be grabbing that right on the low ground, wants to save as much time as possible. Especially since he scouted Hyun going hatch first, there's really no chance of any aggression coming out here before this is ready to be defended. Double gas going down as well for RunnerUp. Playing pretty much the same build as he did in the last game so far. Hyun going to be finishing up this base momentarily as well. And there we go. Finishing up right away. Even transferring several drones down there as well. Double queens in production. Hyun is a player we don't generally see utilize the 6 queen build. 3 queens or 4 queens is what he tends to like more in the early to mid game. So I believe RunnerUp may actually know that, which is why he went for the Hellions in the last game, because Hellions are a lot more effective the less queens your opponent has. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the same sort of Hellion build in this game. And yeah, he's going to throw down a factory there. And this is almost definitely going to be some Banshee play, simply because of the positioning of the factory. That allows him to put up a starport around here, which shortens the amount of distance between your base and your opponent's. So we'll have to see what he opts for, but I would stake money on Banshees following up the same sort of reactor Hellion play as we saw in the last game. Bunker going down to the natural here for RunnerUp. And yep, macro hatchery coming up for Hyun. I love it when players do this. Very early macro hatchery, gets you some additional drone production, and it's fantastic for his style of play, where he just likes so many Zerglings and so many Banelings. They're very larva intensive, so it's important to have that extra hatchery up. 3rd queen going to be popping here for Hyun as well momentarily. And this is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of the game. Starting a wall off there, he'll probably put some more buildings there and there later on in the game, so this is going to be really cool for him. No gas just yet for Hyun. Wouldn't be surprised to see him grab all 3 at the same time as in the last game, but yep, there we go. Starport and Tech Lab coming up right away, actually opting straight for the Tech Lab, so he's not even going to bother going for any reactor Hellions before the Tech Lab. He is putting up a reactor there on the barracks. He'll probably float those over and swap them. I would be very surprised if he didn't. Yep, there we go. And actually, what is this going to be? Is he going to put that on the... Yeah, he's going to produce a Hellion and then he's going to move it onto the reactor. Okay, that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, there we go. Gas is going down at the natural. 1 and 2 there. 3 and 4. Getting all 4 at the same time this time. So Hyun really going to be in a great position to start getting tons and tons of gas with that hatchery finishing up as well. Cloak and a Banshee on the way. And he'll probably move that factory. Oh, no. He's going to put the barracks back down on the reactor. Okay. Going to go for some Marines? Alright, gonna go for some Marines. Why not? Looks like it is not gonna be mech. Bit of a supply block here from Runner. Oh, wow, that's actually a bad supply block. About a 20-second supply block for RunnerUp. No Evo Chambers just yet. No Baneling Nest just yet. And we'll... Does he have speed? Nope, there we go. Speed just starting right now. So, a couple Hellions and a couple Marines and a Hellion moving on in, trying to deny that third, but getting this macro hatchery here at the natural, you don't really need the third as early. There we go, double Evo Chamber going down just to finish off that wall. And all of a sudden, this wide open natural is not so wide open anymore. Third going down right now as well, around 8 minutes. Really, everything going very according to plan for Hyun here. 3 queens can definitely hold against this, so he's going to move on forward with those 3 queens. And down they go. Well, away they go, rather. He is on 4 queens now. This is generally what he likes to do. He likes to have 1 more queen than he has hatcheries at the beginning. So, ooh, here we go, though. A Banshee coming on in. That's going to add a lot of damage output, but the queen's doing very well here. And down goes the Banshee. That is a huge loss for RunnerUp. He does snipe 1 queen. We'll get another one as well, but that Banshee... actually, no. That's actually a pretty even trade, considering that, well, these were not just extra queens. These were his injecting queens, so he's not going to have any injects on these bases for a little while. 20 Zerglings on the way, though. Lair almost finished as well, so he's definitely going to hold. And even moving a lot of drones out to try to do some damage. Or just transfer them out. Yeah, he's just transferring them. A little early. This hatchery's nowhere near done. But he was really oversaturated, so he might as well. Ling's going to clean up those Marines before speed even finishes. How embarrassing. Baneling Nest is also done. There's the Spire coming up. No Baneling speed just yet, but especially on Daybreak, Hyun will almost definitely go for that massive Needling Baneling pressure that he likes to go for. Where is that? Where's the Banshee? There we go. Cloak Banshee coming on up here. Overseer morphing, but it is just starting. This is going to be able to get quite a few kills here. And even taking a couple pot shots at one of those queens. But this is a lot of worker kills here for RunnerUp. And he's up to 10 worker kills already, and I accidentally paused the replay. My bad. But, yep. Gonna move on over as well. Realizes he's running out of energy. Gonna try to come down here before that Spore is done as well. Really nice play here by RunnerUp. Getting as much out of this Banshee as he possibly can. He's got enough in here for a couple more worker kills, maybe. Up to 12 worker kills, though. This is ridiculous. 13 worker kills. And he will get away with his life. Probably going to go home and repair that. And that is a hero Banshee. Sergeant Banshee moving on out. And that's a lot of worker kills. Taking a look at the worker supply. Hyun still has a 15 supply lead in workers, but... well, you want to have more than that against an opponent who's meching. And that is what RunnerUp has gone into. He's going into pure mech from here. And this is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here. Because double Thor production against Banelings, not exactly what you want to have as Zerg. I like this. Going to be using this barracks as a bit of a wall. Bunch of Lings coming on in here. Roach Warren only now starting. Overlord drops also going to be on the way now as well. Ventral Sacks. Baneling speed almost done as well. He can do a little bit of damage here since there's no actual Thors on the field yet. And no Blue Flame either. This should be enough Hellions to clean this up. Yeah, he's not even going to lose a Hellion. Oh, he does lose one. But yeah. Gonna go for a medevac drop as well. This is really nice play from RunnerUp. He's playing really solid. Oh, but here come a bunch of Banelings, and this could be deadly. Really nice splitting on the Banelings, but the SCV is being split phenomenally, and he only got 8 kills. Okay, more than 4, but still, that was really well done there by RunnerUp, who's got a pretty commanding lead at this point. 1-1 on the way here for our Terran player. And we are only now seeing +1 range attack coming into play for the Roaches. No Roach speed just yet, and there's +2 Carapace, so he's a little ahead. Blue Flame Hellion starting now as well, and there's Burrow. Do we have Overlord speed yet? No, we don't. So, a bit behind on that. It will finish a long time behind Ventral Sacks at this rate. TSLHyun has phenomenal spread on his Overlords, by the way. There's all these little high ground areas that you can really abuse as Zerg. Look at the map. He has vision of everything. A little bit of a drop going on in the main here. Gonna lose all of these Hellions. Not killing all that much. Killing a couple extra workers. I believe that was 5 more workers. Cost efficient. As long as he doesn't lose the medevac, it's cost efficient. Anyway, looking at Hyun's vision, he sees the entire map. He's got guys on these high grounds all over the place. He's got the watchtowers. He's got a guy up here as well. This is really nice play by Hyun with his scouting. RunnerUp, behind in supply at this point, but this is Roach inflation, as I like to call it. So he's not really ahead of RunnerUp at this point, especially with that Banshee doing a ton of damage here to these Roaches. He's gonna have a hard time dealing with this mech play, especially with so many Thors in the mix. A lot of tanks gonna start coming out now as well, going into double tank production, since he has the Thors to deal with potential Mutalisks. That Spire has been completely useless this entire game, didn't even get a single Mutalisk, because and that's why he went for the Thors first. He knew there was a Spire on the way. Went for a Thor transition, and all of a sudden Mutalisks were useless. 4 Thors on the field, gonna be able to tear through any Mutalisks. Even Roaches are gonna have a hard time dealing with Thors that good, as long as there's a big meat shield. Here we go, Banshee continuing to do a little bit of harassment on these Roaches. Not killing any, but lowering the health pretty significantly. They are gonna try to move forward. Really nice block there by Hyun, though. Gonna deny entry to those Hellions, and those are pretty much all gonna die. Couple of worker kills before they do go down, but Hyun is max at this point, and while RunnerUp can afford being behind in supply, being behind in supply by this much is going to be a little painful. As long as he defends well with siege tanks, he should be okay, but he's been getting supply blocked a lot, so RunnerUp just built like 7 or 8 supply depots at once. He should be fine for the time being. But I really like the Raven as well. Raven's really, really nice to have while you're going mech, but Hyun, he can do quite a bit of damage here with these guys. These Roaches moving out. Overlord speed is done. Here we go. If he goes for a drop on Daybreak, this sort of play is so deadly. You can drop the main so well, but the missile turret ring is being erected by RunnerUp. He sees it coming, and this is exactly how you have to play Daybreak. You have to ready yourself for this sort of Overlord drop. So Hyun has to do some damage here. This is not an all-in, but he definitely needs to do some sort of damage here to RunnerUp. And loading up all of those Overlords. Where's he going to go? Is he going to go natural? Is he going to go... It looks like he is going to hit the natural here. And, oh no. There's really not that much to defend here. This is a really vulnerable area. There's a bunch of missile turrets. He is going to take down an empty Overlord. A couple of Overlords going down, but here come the Roaches being dropped, and they have burrow. They have burrow movement. And this is going to be really, really painful for RunnerUp. Hyun getting supply block, losing quite a few Overlords here, but those Roaches are doing so much damage. They are 2-1 against 1-1, and nice focus firing on the Thors here. Doing a lot of damage to everything here, and RunnerUp's supply is plummeting. It doesn't look like he has enough to hold here. Really nice burrow micro here from Hyun. Finally, the Raven gets out, but there's the GG being forced, and Hyun takes this series 2-0. I will see you guys next time. I don't care that it's Husky's quote, I stole it.